Welcome back to another episode of another Triathlon podcast brought to you by Mana Apparel. A little different voice tonight as Jenna's unable to join us, but you've got myself, Josh, and I've got Fede with me as usual. So Fed, why don't you kick it off? We had a pretty busy weekend after not really realizing how busy a weekend we had racing-wise, but definitely plenty to talk about. And how's your training coming along? I know you're working your way back and getting excited for the rest of the season. So how's it going now?
Yeah, hi Josh, and of course we're gonna miss Jenna tonight, but training's been going good. Did my first ever nonstop run, which was very good, pain-free. So I don't know what pace I ran. I just went on feeling, and it was very good. Like I said, no pain. Bike's been going well. Gonna start a little bit of a VO2 block, so that's gonna be interesting. How the body responds with a lot of high intensity with that little break that I took. So yeah, things are looking good and excited for what's to come. I know you've been training quite a bit, so why don't you tell us what's been going on your side?
Yeah, it's been good season so far in terms of the training and staying healthy has been a big part of it, as we all know in this sport. That's goal number one: stay healthy for a season, and I've been able to do that so far this year. And I had another race, return to race, so another apples to apples sprint triathlon. Went back for the second year in a row and was able to get another course PR. Not the greatest day that I was hoping for, but went from I think 7th or 8th last year in my age group to 5th this year. Just a minute or so off of the podium, which would have been nice, but definitely a big jump up. We had some pretty crappy weather on race morning. The day before the race, I actually went out and did a recon ride. I had an awesome new connection that I made at a local bike shop. I had reached out and asked him if he had any race wheels for rent, and he didn't. And a couple of days later, he messages me back, and he's like, "You know what? I've got my wheels. I'm not using them much. Why don't you just go ahead and use those?" And I was like, "All right." He's like, "Yeah, I'll just lend them to you." And so I popped in there on Saturday on my way to check in for the race and get my bib and everything. And he popped those on, picked them up, and I was like, I'm just going to go do a nice little race recon ride. Don't get to do that too often. So I was able to do that. It's actually in the town that I work in, and I'd done the race before, but I wanted to see what it was like on the wheels, and got 5 miles in and got my first ever flat on a ride.
Oh, no.
Nice little pinch flat on a pretty nasty pothole, but it had been raining, so one of those hidden potholes. And I was moving at a pretty good clip. So sent a quick text saying, sorry about your wheels. The wheels are fine, actually, but the tire and the tube is not. So he actually was on his way to the course as the mechanic for the course the next day, and picked me up, popped me over to the parking lot, and gave me a quick tutorial, and we grabbed a quick video of him showing others how to change a tire. So that was a cool little experience, and really awesome to have somebody like that in my corner. And got to thank him on race morning again. And then I got a message from him today saying, why don't you just keep those through Western Mass? So shout out to Roy at Grace Bicycles. If you're here in the Massachusetts area, Northeast, he's been doing it for decades and has an awesome business, and really appreciate that support. And he's going to be a good connection. I'm going to take my bike in there and get it nice and tuned up for Western Mass, which is my next triathlon.
Nice.
So kind of trained through that. We didn't do a full brick on Saturday because I wanted my coach wanted to see how hard I could go on Sunday. Unfortunately, the bike course, it was rainy and misty. So I actually looked at some times of people who did the race last year and this year, and pretty much everyone was, and even the guy who won my age group and the guy who finished right ahead of me in the age group, they were like 2 to 3 minutes slower overall on
Wow.
on their races this year, whereas I was about a minute faster overall.
Huh.
So
Wow.
bike splits were all low. I don't think anyone was over 20 miles an hour average for 10
Jesus.
miles, which is crazy for 10 miles. You should be able to push it. But
Yeah.
it's a lot of turns and downhill turns, so really tough when you've got the wet pavement. So still a great race. Had a little better swim, had a little better transition T1, and had a good bike. Felt good, pushed good power. Had a good T2. Could definitely tighten it up a little bit there, and then had an awesome run. Felt good right out of the chute, and it's an uphill, probably a quarter mile uphill, and was able to negative split the 5K run and was just about 7 minutes, just under 7 minute mile pace at the
Wow.
end, and had a good little sprint finish with somebody I identified in front of me down the chute, and won that race. So it was good to race in that quick
Mm.
distance, and then came home and went for a 15-mile ride after that. So
Wow.
um, good weekend, good week of training, and Western Mass is only 2.5 weeks, 3 weeks away. So getting ready for that. Did a easy-ish bike ride today outside. Did a swim already, and I've got a little 30-minute run to do tonight after we finish recording. So right back into it, and excited to see what I could do with this race, and really push it if we get some good weather, and try and see if I can get my new 70.3 PR. So
Yeah.
that's the goal this season. New PRs at each course, and new PRs at each distance. And so far we're 2 for 2.
Nice. Yeah, that's awesome that you've been, well, it's not a surprise to me because you've actually improved quite a bit during this past um, preseason, I want to say, and like the gains you've been making are amazing. Plus, you are becoming a very smart racer, like racing the course. You know, you know that sometimes conditions are going to be tough, and you seem to be actually using the course to your advantage because other people might look at a course or like a race venue and say, "Oh, it's choppy, it's windy," and that they just don't push anymore. But what I've come to realize is that you've actually are becoming very strong mentally. So that's very good, and I'm sure the next couple of races are going to be PRs as well for you. So happy for you.
Yeah, no, I appreciate that. I think when you start into anything late in the game, like I have, and I actually put up one of my more popular reels apparently last night, which has got a ton of views and shares and stuff like that. So it kind of
Mm,
resonated with a few people. But when you start something late in life, or you've got to put in the time if you want to get better at it.
yeah,
And the knowledge side of triathlon is there for anyone to get. And whether you are a great athlete or not, you can learn the sport. You can learn the ins and outs of it, and pick up these little tips of the trade that are going to help you along the way. And I think that's the part that I've been able to grasp onto and take advantage of the information that's out there, having people like you and Jenna to lean on, and surrounding myself with other people. And it was a really cool race because I've done it before, and I've become connected to a few other people in the local triathlon scene. And it was cool to see them and race with them, and see them on the run course. There's an out and back on the run course that's really cool. Um, and like finishing the bike and starting the run, and seeing some of my friends finishing the bike, and my wife did the relay again, so she was there racing,
mm,
and I was able to finish the bike, and she was in transition waiting to start her run, and so she got to see me off on the run, and as I came back, she was about to just start her run. So we both
wow,
got to see each other finish, and that was really cool. And the two people that she brought with her are part of my Peloton community. So another new group of triathletes that got to experience it, and there's a whole duathlon part of this race too, which helps a lot of people get involved, and just a really
yeah,
cool thing. And then I brought a whole bunch of athletic brewings to hand out, and one of our old favorite senators here in Massachusetts got to enjoy some of those post race, and along with another 100 so people. So, and I got to wear my brand new Mana Apparel custom kit, and
Nice.
it definitely stood out. Everyone's kind of got those nice tri kits, and everyone kind of looks similar. And this one stands out for sure. So I'm pretty
Yeah.
happy with it, and I can't wait to get the real pictures from the race photo people and start to share some of the better pics of race day, Josh.
Yeah. Awesome. That's
Yeah.
awesome.
So, man, I don't know where to start with our racing this week. Why don't we start with a non? Actually, no. Let's start with challenge. Wherever you want to go.
Okay, yeah, let's do something. Let's do challenge, then let's jump into the Huatulco mixed team relay Olympic qualification event, and then let's talk 70.3s, and we can finish it off with Ironman Lanzarote. How does that sound?
It sounds good, man. We had a lot more than we thought we'd.
Yeah, yeah,
And we didn't do too well in our picks, except for one Anne Haug, and
yeah, yeah. I mean, yeah. Right. So we had challenged the championship 2024 in Samarin, Slovakia. Amazing venue, and this race is becoming like a focus for a lot of athletes. And we had a very surprising winner. Not because he's not a great athlete, because he is, but he hadn't been able to figure out the run. And he finally did it. I mean, Kyle Smith from New Zealand took the win, and what a run he had. 109.42. Took the win in 327.10. He's an amazing swim biker, and now with this 109, he can actually get away from people on the bike and hold off that lead, because people are going to be needing to run a 106, 107 if they want to catch him, because he is a front pack swimmer and he has the horsepower to get away on the bike from people. On second place, we had the friend of the show, Frederick Funk, solid 329, amazing. He was actually faster than Kyle on the bike, 148.48. Kyle was 150.59. But, Fred ran a 113, which was not enough for Kyle's 109. And on third place from Denmark, we had Christian Hugenhaug in 329.56. We had Joe Skipper Racing finishing in 10th place. Um, we had Mark Dubrick, who we know has been struggling with a bit of a niggle, but 12th place and one. To me, when Mark runs a 116, that's just off. That's like jogging for him. So we know he's not quite there because he's struggling with a bit of a niggle. So hopefully he bounces back and is ready to go in the next coming races. And on the girls'
I
side,
think he's really focused on his bike right now, and
yeah,
he knows the run will come when he can get training and back into run shape too.
mm,
He was over in Europe getting aero testing and wind tunnel testing, so I'm sure that's kind of a main focus for him. I thought the other thing that was interesting too with this race is I think Dubrick led them out of the water, or was up front, and
yeah,
but the whole pack was there. Like they were
yeah,
all together on the bike, and that was crazy because that was one after the other, after the other, after the other, and they were just like in a chain. And so
mm,
for somebody like Fred to come from back of the swim a little bit, he had to do a lot of work to pass. So I
oh
think
yeah,
when it got to the run, he ran out a little gas on the run, and Kyle was able to run him down.
yeah, 100%. And it was incredible to see, and he was over the moon, and you could see how much it meant to Kyle because he was so happy that the run finally clicked. Uh, so yeah, kudos to Kyle and congratulations to him.
Yeah.
On the girl side, we had a very solid performance by India Lee. She's in a bit of a roll right now, finishing in 356, so also sub 4 on the girls' side. The top two on the girls were sub 4, which is amazing. Uh, and they both ran a 121, sorry. But on the bike, this is where they did the damage. A 205 for India and a 207 for second place, Laura Madsen from Denmark. And on third place from Sweden, we had Anna Bergsten coming in third place. Another very important and notable athlete, Els Visser from the Netherlands, finishing in the fifth place, who she seems to be having that approach that back in the day cyclists used to have of racing herself into fitness. And this girl does know how to switch off. And it's amazing. She's always top 10, top 5, or winning the events. So amazing race from her as well. But India was just so strong. 24-minute swim, held the lead on the bike, and just ran a 1:29:35 to hold on to the lead because nobody she actually broke away on in the swim and nobody could catch her. So this goes to show that you can, if you are a strong swimmer and a strong biker, you can actually hold on to the lead if your run is decent, which is the case for India, and amazing for her.
And defending champ too, so two-time champ.
She
I
knows the
mean,
course.
you talked about it. People love going to this race, and she's certainly one of them.
100%. She knows the course. She knows when to push. Uh, she knows that long straight along the river um, is usually into a headwind or with the tailwind and coming into a headwind. And she knows how to push and to be aero. So kudos to India and her team as well.
Yeah, I think
And
it's a good confidence booster for her too, coming out of the disappointment in Singapore.
yeah,
Obviously, starting her season great in Miami, and then Singapore, and
yeah.
now she's back to her India Lee ways.
Yeah, she's proving that she belongs. Miami wasn't a fluke, and
Right.
this race had a very stacked field as well. So yeah, I mean that's racing, and triathlon is one of those sports where if you are half of a percentage of, especially on the elite field, you are 10 places away. So it's just amazing to see how the competition is being growing uh, in middle distance racing, especially.
Yeah, absolutely.
Hmm.
So yeah,
Yeah.
great race over in Europe there. What do we have next that you want to move to?
Now flying to the other side of the world, Mexico, Huatulco, we had a mixed team relay Olympic qualification event. Uh, the top two teams that on this race were getting Olympic qualification, so it was a very important race for nations. And we talked about this last week actually that Arild Triton, the Team Norway director, was very vocal about wanting to have a competitive team at the Paris Olympics. They delivered. Like this, the Norwegians, they usually put their money where their mouth is, and they won the race. It was hot, it was humid, it was the opposite of what Norway is right now, and they delivered. I mean, water temperature of 29 degrees Celsius, that is like a jacuzzi type of situation. And air temperature was actually cooler than the water, 26.5. It was a 300-meter swim, 6K bike, and a 1,500-meter run. Uh, mixed team relay format. So uh, two girls, two boys, and then Norwegians took it. Second place, and very special mention for Team Netherlands. We saw the power couple of Richard Murray and Rachel Klammer, who's Richard's wife. Important note: Richard is he was born in South Africa, but now he races for Team Netherlands. And very interesting to see that Team South Africa did not finish the race. So probably the best and smartest move by Richard to race for Team Netherlands, who he was already living in the Netherlands for quite a bit of time by now. So yeah, amazing to see. Team Ecuador got lapped, and Team Canada got a disqualification. Uh, Third place, which was bittersweet for them because they didn't got the Olympic qualification, was Team Hungary. Spain in fourth, Austria in fifth, and Team Mexico in sixth place. So congratulations to Norway and the Netherlands for getting that Olympic qualification.
And Hungary got passed towards the end too on that
Yeah.
final leg, which was rough.
Oh, I reckon they still have nightmares from that race because that must have been so hard.
Man, they were definitely taxed though. They were all pushing it, and that weather would look brutal.
Yeah, 100%, 100%. Uh, but yeah. Now we're starting to see how the spots are getting limited to the Olympics, which is exciting and sad for other athletes because this means that they have to wait another 4 years or they're done. Timing
Yeah.
is everything. So a lot of older athletes are not going to get another chance. So just how special and hard it is to get an Olympic qualification in sport of triathlon and any sport. So yeah, congratulations to the teams who got their qualification spot.
And meanwhile, we've got Taylor Knibb, the triathlete, popping into another
Oh
sport
God.
and
Imagine if
taking
she
over
wins.
PT and a slot in Paris on the road cycling team for the USA as well. So, and like threw down a crazy good time.
That is amazing. Like, imagine if she pulls off a gold in the individual event, then the gold in the mixed team relays, and then she's like, okay, I'm just gonna go do a shakeout TT and gets the gold in the time trial. That would be so. I mean, if she pulls that off, she has the the opportunity to be the goat because I don't think anybody is going to be able to do that. If she wins Topo and then she goes and wins Kona, I mean, Jesus, that would
Yeah.
be amazing.
I think the biggest question with Paris is going to be, does she do both the mixed and the road, right? Or
Mm,
does she do the mix, I guess is the big question, because
yeah,
I think they're like one day after each other.
yeah.
So what does she want the focus to be? And if I think mixed is after the road, does USA Triathlon want her on the mixed relay team after she
Mm,
just did an all-out TT?
yeah, that's when politics come into play, hey? Because I'm sure if you ask Taylor, she would say, "I'm going to do all of them. I don't care."
Of course. Yeah.
Yeah.
All I did was a 45-minute ride. Come on, I can do another.
Yeah, exactly, exactly.
And well, what do we got
uh,
next?
Now let's go to the US in Chattanooga, Tennessee. And we had a very good race. Uh, Matt Hansen took the win on the men's side, running a 109 again, 341. Uh, Second place, Jackson Laundry, who he's been lurking with the first place, but hasn't been able to quite get it just yet. Third place, we had Trevor Foley, who was Lionel Sanders' training buddy. Uh, Fourth place, Anthony Costes. And yeah, it was a very, very interesting race in Chattanooga. We know it's downriver swim, so it's a very fast swim, which didn't prove to be that way this year because they swamped the usual 24 25 minutes on the men's side, so maybe not a super strong current. Hmm.
Yeah, not. I mean, it wasn't as fast as Maine or Oregon. I think when it comes to like our world and the age group of world, it makes a difference. But when you're in the pro field and you're out there
Yeah,
mashing away at that time frame, unless you've got a super strong current, it's not going to make too much of a difference. What it is going
exactly.
to do is they're getting out of the water with less energy spent, is what they're
Yeah,
doing.
true, 100%. And
But it would
on
be
the
interesting to see, like, where did Jackson come out of the water? I didn't look to see that. Like, so somebody like him, who's typically a minute or two back, where did he come out?
So he got out 10th place out of the water, and
Yeah,
Matt Hanson 11th. So
yeah,
this just goes to show how uh, no, I don't want to say weak swimmers, but not the strongest swimmers like Matt Hansen get more benefit and more like bang for their buck when it comes
yeah,
to wetsuit swims and downriver swims. They get a bit more of a boost, so to speak, when you're
yeah.
racing
It
these type of
closes the
conditions.
gap a little bit.
Yeah, exactly. Because this means that strong swimmers actually need to work double or triple the effort to actually separate themselves, and it's just not worth it uh, because they're gonna pay it on the bike and run. And on the girl side, we had well, the domination is starting to creep in from Emma Pallant Brown, whom I think I picked her. No, Emma.
I believe you did, and this was
Yeah,
back to back weeks too.
back to back weeks. So yeah, I'm very happy about my pick. And yeah, Emma just took the win, running away from everyone. Well, I don't want to say running away because Jackie Herring, who finished in second place, was just 38 seconds away from Emma. So not completely running away, but actually holding up to the lead. And in third place, we had Sarah True, who I was very, very happy to see in the podium. Uh, Sarah, who has been, she became a mom and then a few issues here and there, but she is slowly and surely uh, starting to feel like herself, and amazing from her to see her coming in third place.
Bunch of mums on the podium with Jackie and Sarah right there, 2, 3, and that field was stacked too. I mean, you keep going down 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I mean, there was some big names in that field.
Mm, yeah, yeah. I mean, talk about the mom power in Sarah and Jackie.
Yep,
Mm,
absolutely. And friend of the pod, Alice Alberts, her first 70.3 came in sixth and took a spot in Worlds as well too. So kudos to her for hopping in a shorter distance for her as the true Ironman distance athlete. And yeah, not a bad first showing. I
mm,
think I heard her say she learned a lot
yeah,
at, at race strategy. Like we talk about, it's a little different than an Ironman.
100%, absolutely. And now let's fly down to Brazil because we had Ironman Brazil as well happening this weekend. And we had Reinaldo Colucci taking the win in 7:58, so barely going sub 8, the only one going sub 8 in the day. Second place from Brazil, Igor Amorelli in 8:21. And in third place, we had Luis Ode. Uh, it was just only four pros finished the race. Fourth place was a Mexican, Rodrigo Romero, uh, but he was an hour and 46 minutes behind Reinaldo Colucci. So not not the closest of races. And on the girls' side, we had more girls racing, but then again, just five girls finished the race in Ironman Brazil. First place, Pamela Oliveira in 8:57. Second place, we had from Brazil as well, Mariana Borges de Andrade. And in third place, we had Bruna Stolf, also from Brazil. Uh, and yeah, it was 18 minutes from first to second place, so not the closest of races. Nothing super exciting, but yet again super hard racing from the guys on who finished the race on top of the podium.
Yeah. Speaking of finishing races, did you hear what happened in Morro Bay?
Yeah, you were telling me about this right before we started to record, but let me get over this last race that happened over the weekend, and then we can discuss what happened in Morro Bay because it's very, very interesting.
What happened in Lanzarote?
Lanzarote, we had Ironman Lanzarote, and hard racing. The winner won the race with 8:29. Whom we know age groupers in Texas who finish in this time, and they won their age group. So this just goes to show how hard it is, the course. And we had in first place from Belgium, Kenneth Van der Nisch, winning the race. On second place from Spain, Jordi Moya, and from Spain again in third place, Mikel Ugarte Ramos. This was a much more closer race than Brazil, just 2 minutes and 31 seconds from second place to first, and then 4 minutes from third to second. So much more closer racing, and kudos to these guys because this course is brutal and there's no hiding. It's windy, it's hilly, it can get very hot on the run. So just amazing racing. But the elephant in the room is happened over the girls' side because you know former Kona champion Annie Haug showed up to the race, and we predicted she was going to win, but we didn't know she was going to win by this much. Her gap to second place, the French athlete uh, Jean Collin, was 43 minutes and 43 seconds. I mean,
I mean, it was like literally the first time all three of us were like consensus. We need to just pick her and nobody else,
yeah,
and we were right by a
yeah,
lot.
yeah. I mean, it would have been like a sign of disrespect not to pick Annie Haug. Not to say these are not good athletes. I mean, all of these girls deserve credit, but when you look at Annie Haug and her career, it was just dumb not to pick her. And I mean, 43 minutes, 43 seconds. Uh, did you get a chance to watch all the memes that were coming out, like Annie getting
Probably
out of
not
the
all of them. I
shower?
definitely saw some of them, and I was like, look out, everyone in San Francisco. That's for sure.
Yeah, exactly. And then in third place we had from Great Britain, Lydia Dant. So yeah, again, congratulations to these girls, and especially what a monster of a performance for from Annie Haug. Just she's, I mean, and she's gonna be even stronger in Nice. This is a great reference for what she's gonna be able to do at in Nice because Nice is a faster course. Yes, there is a bit more climbing, but the run is usually cooler and flatter. So just brace yourselves because we could actually see the largest gap uh, from a world championship event on the girls' side this year in Nice if Annie shows up.
Yeah, I mean, she's a tiny triathlete, so she can climb with some of the
Yeah,
best of them too. So, and then we all know how she can run. So, courses like that suit her well, and clearly she's got it dialed in on the Ironman distance. Now we got to see what she can do in the T100.
yeah. It's going to be definitely interesting to see how she bounces back because these hard courses usually take a longer time to recover than flat ones. So yeah, let's see how she bounces back.
Yeah, she's only
But
got a couple of weeks, right?
yeah, just a couple of weeks to bounce back and a few time zones to get used to.
Yeah.
But tell us what happened in Morro Bay. I mean, it
So
was
Morro Bay is an age grouper only race, and last year was like one of those races, early-ish season that people kind of raved about. You expect the water to be cold, Northern California, right? And beautiful scenery, beautiful race, and what can happen if you get some rough weather, you can get a pretty nasty current. And
yeah,
if you were not a sub 30 swimmer or roughly around that 30-minute mark and in the water and out early on, you were going to have a day to remember. And even the strongest swimmers, a good friend of mine from college, she is a podium finisher in our age group, 45 to 49. She was up front again, and she's usually the number one swimmer. And she was again, first out of the water,
yeah.
but like 5 6 minutes slower than she was last year.
Wow.
And you know what that means. I mean, that means you're working
Yeah,
hard. That's going to
yeah.
kill your bike legs. So what happened is the current. They got to the first turn buoy, and it's an out and over and then back in. So once they made that first turn, the current just came flying at them, and
Mm,
the longer the day went on, the harder it got. And there were
yeah.
people out there. Another good friend of mine, she got to that turn buoy in pretty decent splits and tried to make the turn and wasn't going anywhere. And people were going backwards behind her. That she actually had a friend get a video of that buoy, and the kayaker is going backwards, and the buoy is moving backwards, and the swimmers are just going nowhere.
Wow.
Um, and people were getting pulled out of the water left and right, asked to be pulled out, and getting medically pulled out. I think it was over 300 people that got
Wow.
pulled from the water, and it's not that big of a race. It's a pretty decent size, but over
Yeah.
300, a huge number.
It's wild.
And you had over half the field finish the swim that did finish the swim in over an hour and 10 minutes. So past the
Wow.
cutoff. So they had to waive that cutoff, is what it sounds like, and people were able to continue. But man, imagine that being your first 70.3, and that's your experience. And it started all weekend. I mean, it was earlier than just the swim. Like the water temperature was about 52, 53 the day before the race, but miraculously on race morning jumped to 57 plus. So we were joking earlier, they must have found one of those buoys in shallow water that was warmest and then
Yeah.
published that as the race day temp. But I had friends that said there was no way it was that cold or no way it was that warm.
Yeah.
And it
Yeah.
was as cold as they thought it would be.
Mm.
But kudos to everyone who raced, finished. I saw a lot of crazy ass good times up front.
Yeah.
And people that had to work a lot harder on their swim, no matter where they started, that were able to put up some really good times on the bike and the run, and still a lot of like 4:30s and out of age groupers. Those are some huge days.
Yeah. 100%. Yeah. It was a brutal swim course, and just reminds me when I raced Ironman Alaska, they did the exact same thing. They were like, "Oh no, the water just is warmer, like 10 degrees more than what it was yesterday during the practice swim, where people were shivering." And of course, they had to take a few people to the hospital because of hypothermia, and it was raining. I mean, just I don't know. It just sounds a bit irresponsible to me on Ironman because, like you said, what if it's your first race and then you're scarred for life by this type of race, and then you don't come back to the sport by this bad experience?
Yeah. I mean, we all know it's a money making business first and foremost. And the experience that we've all had doing it has kept us coming back, and that's great.
Yeah,
But it is a money making business, and to have a swim is a huge part of that. They've
true.
got sponsors. One of their biggest sponsors
Yeah,
is Roka. So you got to have the Roka swim course, and they do everything they can to make it a full swim bike run, which we all appreciate.
yeah,
But there are certain times, like Ireland last year, where they stepped over. And it sounds
yeah,
like Morro Bay. I don't know if anyone could see this coming, but it's not like it's new to the area that current is known there. So
yeah.
I just feel bad for the people. I mean, my friend literally said she treaded water for an hour and a half
God.
and was doing what she could to stay warm because she felt she was in better condition than some of the other people around her. And she
Yeah.
had already been told by the kayak support that all the boats taking people to shore are full. You have to keep swimming.
Oh my God. Right. Oh, crazy.
And
Eh?
imagine, I mean, like the panicking and all, like people have a
Yeah.
hard time swimming a normal course, right?
Yeah.
And so I can only imagine what it looked like out there.
Crazy. Crazy. Crazy.
It's not on
Oh
my
God.
list to do that race, that's for sure.
No, me neither. Lots of sharks. Lots of sharks down that area.
Yeah. So what? Actually, speaking of, I know you talked briefly about your training and all that, but any changes in races that you see on the horizon coming up?
I'm starting to. I want to race like in July, like mid-July, early August, just to find my racing legs again before Wisconsin. So I don't know. What do you think I should race, or let the audience decide what race I should do?
Let's pull the audience for sure. I mean, I think it's interesting. My wife actually brought this up this weekend, and us being not the greatest swimmers, and some of these races having a relay option, maybe I should jump in as the swim leg and do just the
Oh,
swim. And I was like, man, that's hard to do when you can bike and run.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
But at the same time, mentality wise, to just go at a swim and try and help a team do well
yeah.
and just maybe get your own confidence level up. I think it's an interesting thing for all of us to think about. And what do you think? What are your thoughts on that?
I love it. I mean, I think when you're part of a relay team, then the team element comes to play. And for a sport like triathlon, who's very individualistic, I think it brings that urge that you and I had growing up playing team sports, being part of something bigger than yourself, and you can actually squeeze a bit more from yourself to actually help your team. So I love it, and I'm all up for it. I feel bad for the swimmers on the relays because they have to wake up super early and then get it over with, and then just wait for 3 hours. But yeah, it's all good.
Yeah, that's why, like, if you did like a sprint or an Olympic distance, it's not as bad. But yeah, like
Yeah,
when you're doing a 70.3 relay and you're a 25-minute swimmer, that is a
yeah.
long day and an early morning for a very short
Uh,
amount of work.
Oh yeah, and imagine after the swim, you're all high on endorphins and all hyped up. The last thing you can do is take a nap. So yeah, if you
Well,
are
and
a
so
swimmer,
it would make you the best Sherpa ever, though, right? Because you
true,
might as well
true.
just go for a run.
Yeah, yeah, like just swim, get it over with, go back to the hotel, have a little bit of a breakfast, and then go out for like a small
Follow your
jog.
athletes around.
Yeah,
Very
awesome.
cool. Well, I think in terms of a social media post of the week, it was really difficult to follow everything going on this week. And I wish I could get a video. And if I do, we'll post that in the show notes
Yeah.
for Morro Bay, because I did see some crazy footage from that. And then WTF on the water temps. And like, what? Come on. 5 degrees doesn't happen overnight in Northern California waters, not in any water, really.
Not in any water. No,
Right.
we're
Maybe with a
talking,
solar
yeah,
cover, which they did not have.
exactly. Yeah.
So, well, why don't we call it a nice, quick podcast and then a great recap from Fed on the races, and we had a lot of them. But what do we got coming up this weekend? Do we have any big pro races?
Oh,
I
let me
don't.
check. Let me pull up the schedule.
I know
But
we had the Xterra in Alabama last weekend. It seemed like there was a pretty good turnout there by the Europeans yet again in the
yeah,
triathlon world.
the Europeans know how to ride a mountain bike. That's
Yep.
for sure. Um, we have 70.3 Victoria in Canada. We have Ironman Hamburg on, well, that's on June the 2nd. No, just 70.3 Victoria, and I believe that's only a age group race. I might be wrong, but yeah, that's the only thing happening next week.
And kudos to Tade for the Giro.
Oh man! Speaking of Tade and the Giro, I mean he's like 6 minutes uh, from leading the race, and just crazy how he attacked today's stage. But now that you brought up bike racing, I wanted to talk to you about the former Olympic road race champion, Richard Carapaz from Ecuador. He's not going to be in Paris because apparently the Ecuadorian Federation did something wrong and he missed his spot. So I mean,
That's
and
awful.
that's, oh, how could this happen? 2024 former Olympic champion, he's in a pro team, and then the federation is like, oh no, Richard, because you didn't go to this national event, you're not going to be part of the team. Just, oh, come on, politics.
Yeah. I mean, I think we learn every year more and more how political some of the Olympic selection committees are in all of these different regions. And some of them are tried and true. This is you qualify. But
Yeah,
other selections and other opportunities and things that you have to check. I mean,
yeah,
sometimes it's on the athlete, sometimes it's the political side. But I don't think
yeah.
we're ever going to get rid of that political side of an event so big.
Yeah, fortunately not. And it's just a shame for the sport because it takes away, dreams and aspirations. But yeah, hopefully, Richard is a very big name. Hopefully, the UCI gives him a wild card. Same situation with Isaac del Toro, an up and coming Mexican athlete who's racing for UAE Emirates. And hopefully, he gets a wild card. Would be a shame to see those two miss on the Olympics.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, we will find out, and hopefully it does work out for him. And it's going to be weird not having races to watch this weekend, but hopefully we got a nice little 3-day weekend here in the U.S. too. So I'm going to go
Oh,
actually watch my wife race a half marathon on Monday and actually be a fan and cheer and Sherpa.
nice. Nice. Awesome.
So it'll be a good day for her, and she had another PR for her too post ACL, which was awesome to see on her
Ah,
5K. So
that's
keeps getting
amazing.
faster and faster. So it's just we're in similar seasons, like just trying to check boxes off on getting better.
Gotta watch out, Josh, or else she's gonna be coming for you on that finishing line, on that finishing shoot.
I'm all for it, man. I'm all for it.
Perfect answer.
All right, man. Well, have a great week, everyone, and thanks for listening yet again. And we'll check back in next week. We're getting closer to that 50th episode as well.
Yeah, creeping in. See you later, guys.